Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I am Cass with College of Lore.
I am the Penitent with College of Lore.
Hi. We're gonna tell you guys about some cool stuff we made.
So, this is Homebrew Hour, our feature where we
Talk about our
about
cool stuff that we
homebrew
made.
that we make in an hour.
It will hopefully always be under an hour.
Homebrew, 20 minutes.
Homebrew, 20 minutes.
Today we're talking about human variants.
Human variants. We have 3 of them to share with you today on this wonderful day.
A lot of people like to say that humans are boring.
True sometimes, but only if you're boring and you're playing them.
But
To
these
be
are variant of humans, they're kind of full races, kind of sub-races. You don't get anything from the human side of this.
But that's kind of the point.
Yes, but the idea is they're all based off humans, differing levels of humans, and we're just gonna jump into it. The first race I have for you is based on a third edition race.
Alright, go for it.
They are the Deep Imascari.
I'm gonna put some cool stuff about them on the screen, and we're gonna go through all of it together.
So obviously, their traits replace the standard human traits presented in the player's handbook. Int +2, Charisma +1.
Woo!
Initially, what class does that make you think?
Wizard.
Which is why the Deep Imascari are descended from a line of wizards that fled to the Underdark, is how I can explain this. After their ancient empire was conquered by the slaves they kept.
Yikes.
Uh,
Stop being like that.
They are like basically these albino, slender beings that are human.
They're human originally.
Human-ish, but they come from wizards.
They come from wizards.
So,
Hey.
eldritch, creepy, old things is kind of what I'm going for with this.
Eldritch creepy humans.
Mature and...
They're about the same as humans, yeah. Alignment.
To, like, chaotic and evil.
Strong tendency for chaotic, probably.
Soft tendency for evil. Roughly a little shorter... roughly a little on the tall end for humans, but very on the lean end. Basically
Skinny little guys.
You get dark vision.
Dark vision, because you live in the Underdark, and that makes sense.
Tell us about ancient knowledge.
Yeah, you have been saying all of these, huh? Ancient knowledge. You can see it on the screen. You know some stuff from a long time ago. You get Arcana, History, or Religion proficiency. You pick.
Which is always useful.
Yeah, you love to get extra proficiencies.
You get something very useful.
Spells.
With the Imascari magic. You can get any wizard cantrip.
Yep.
At first level. You can take any first level spell from Divination, Illusion, or Necromancy.
Yep.
At third level, and any second level spell from those schools at fifth level.
And it's basically just a normal spellcasting racial thing.
It being your spellcasting ability for it, but it's
Yes.
a wide variety of options.
Sure is. Shadow secrets. This is actually one that I helped you come up with. I was really excited when I was included in this homebrewing process, because I'm usually not, except for playtesting. You get advantage on stealth and sleight of hand checks while in darkness. And the cool part of this is non-magical darkness is treated as magical, including factoring in dark vision if someone is trying to find you.
Yes.
You get some languages.
You also get common, undercommon, and Imascari.
Yes.
What do you think of the Imascari?
I like them. I already know about all of these.
Yes.
But I do think they're neat. I didn't know they existed. When you were telling me you were making them, I was like, where did these guys come from? And you were like, they came from 3E. And I was like, they what? I don't know anything about any of the versions of D&D other than 5th edition, because I am a baby and I've never played any of the other ones. But I think they're neat. I like Underdark critters. I like them a lot.
Any interest in playing them?
I would consider it at some point. Wizards. I like wizards more than I used to, by a lot.
Yes. Could also be useful for... What else uses wisdom? Or what else uses int?
Artificers. Which could buy a kind of cool lore spin.
Yeah, it could.
Artificer's spellcasting mod is intelligence.
Alternatively, do something wild. Be a barbarian.
Yeah, do it. It's totally a normal thing.
Speaking of barbarians, go check out our Monday video.
Yep, we ranked all the barbarian subclasses. Go check it out. We did that.
Speaking of barbarians, our next subrace.
Alright, our next subrace is the Amazon human variant.
So I think most of you know what Amazons are. Tall, muscular warrior women.
That's exactly what they are in this too. Good job, you did it.
So, strength 2, con 1.
Not surprising. They live a long time. They live like 300
Yeah,
years.
so
But they don't age.
the thought here, for me at least, designing them, is that they live on isolated islands, blessed by goddesses of their choice. Always female-aligned gods.
Yes.
Kind of different islands, and they're pretty isolationist.
Yes.
So they live up to 300 years, but they don't age past 25 physically.
Very cool.
So this is a gender and sexuality section.
Because
and-
that's important to this bit.
Yeah, why don't you talk about it?
So, because of the whole warrior woman thing, Amazons are always born with the stereotypical girl bits, assigned female at birth. Though if they leave their communities and find out that boys exist, sometimes they become fans of that idea and will trans their genders. Or just end up somewhere in the middle because they're like, whoa, I didn't know you could be anything other than a girl. Do I have to be the other thing? No. Okay, cool. Goes with that.
Additionally, well, for obvious reasons, most Amazons are lesbians.
Because they only know girls.
When they leave, many can be bi or even straight.
Yep. You love to see it.
Uh,
You love to see lesbians winning, truly.
Alignment, they serve under a queen and they worship a goddess, so they tend towards lawful.
Yep.
Most tend toward good, but there are some evil aligned,
Crazy
some
guys.
conquering Amazons, yeah.
Very cool. They're
Bas-
real big.
Phase 1 can be to 30. This is a lot of basic things. Proficiency athletics.
They're really big. We
Resist-
didn't talk about
Oh, right,
how
sorry.
big they are. They're 6.5 to 8 feet tall, and they're heavy. They weigh 300 pounds, and that's all muscle that they can
Yep.
use to pick me up. Girls, pretty.
You get proficiency.
Girls, hot.
You get proficiency in athletics
Yes,
and resistance to radiant damage.
because divine blessing. Yay.
Um,
You also get spells with this one. Damn, that's
Yes.
crazy.
talk about those.
You get Word of Radiance as a cantrip. When you reach 3rd level, you can cast a Divine's Favor spell once, and when you reach 5th level, you can cast Branding Smite. All of these are some crunchy little spells. You get Charisma as your spellcasting ability, because you're so hot and sexy, and, girls.
And lastly, your maximum
think this
strength
one
score
pops.
is 22.
Yep, you are extra cool and strong.
Now, that does not mean your strength score is immediately 22.
No, it just means you can raise it to that instead of just stopping at 20.
Basically, the idea is, say you roll an 18, you get the +2 strength for being an Amazon, you're at 20. You get to level 4, and you can add +2 your strength score to a maximum of 22.
Yep, crazy.
Which is strong, but I don't think broken necessarily.
I don't think it's
a design
broken.
space that Wizard hasn't super touched on.
Yeah,
But
but I don't
like
think it's that big of a deal. I mean, it's like 1 more point to attack rolls and
Yes.
damage rolls.
You also learn Common, Celestial, and Amazonian.
Woo!
And lastly, my personal
Now we get to talk about my favorite guys.
Visani,
Yes,
which
I love
are
them. I love them so much.
based heavily on the Roma people, the Romani people.
Don't be fucking racist.
She's not-
I talk about this every time we talk about anything related to the Vistani because it's really important. Don't be fucking racist about it.
Featured in
Stereotypes are bad.
Ravenloft and Curse of Strahd.
Yep. They've been sort of trying to make it less racist.
Yeah.
They're not doing a very good job.
But they're
I
trying.
have opinions on this whole thing. I really
So,
do.
Charisma 2, Dex 1.
Yep. They basically age at the same rate as humans
They tend to be chaotic.
because they're nomadic and they don't generally like to stick in one place and settle in that.
And many are believed to be evil, but that's not really true.
It's the stereotypes, babe.
Yes. Just mildly shorter and slighter of
They're
build.
little guys.
Phase 1 speed of 30. Anyway,
Right.
the abilities.
Yes.
There are 3 abilities, which is less than
One of these is really long,
Yes.
which is why.
So, you get a
I
proficiency
hate putting these on my character sheets because they're so long.
either in athletics, acrobatic, performance, sleight of hand, or stealth.
Yep.
Because,
Performance.
yeah, typically performers. And
It is not because they want to steal, guys. This is really important distinction. It is because they are performers and they like to show off their skills. This is not about stealing and criminal activity. Like the sleight of hand and the stealth shit, it's for performing, guys.
Sleight of
It's for,
hand-
like, demonstration. It is not necessarily... You can make a criminal Vistani, but don't play into the fucking stereotypes, guys. I'm serious.
Sleight of hand largely from card tricks, stealth largely from...
Sneaking around backstage.
Yes.
Sneaky movement, kind of illusionary tricks.
That being said, Seer's Eye. Go ahead and tell us about that.
Yeah, okay. So, this one scales up by level. Actually, both of the other Vistani abilities, this one and the other one, scale up by level. You can duplicate Animal Friendship at 1st level, you can duplicate Charm Person at 3rd level, and you can duplicate Hold Person at 5th level. None of these require somatic or material components. They have a DC. It's a save DC. It's charisma based. If they succeed on the save, you are blinded until the end of your next turn, which is super fun.
Notably, if something passes their save, they are immune to Seer's Eye from all Visani for 24 hours.
Yep.
Big thing about this.
All of these are supposed to be, especially the curses that we're about to get into. These are supposed to be punishing if they're used wrongfully.
These are Seer's Eye. It's based on the canonical Visani ability from the Curse of Shroud book. That ability is called Evil Eye,
which is bad.
So
I know why, but don't do it.
We've made an adjustment.
It's racist.
So the Visani curses.
We've tweaked this significantly.
Yeah. You utter a curse, repayment for injustice or slight. That is important.
Yes. If the whole point of this is when these are dispelled, when the curses end, they suffer backlash unless they dismiss the curse willingly because they feel that person has learned their lesson.
Yes. If the DM determines the curse is not justified, immediately the curse fails and they take all the damage they would have taken otherwise.
Yes.
Which...
It lasts until specified or until they choose to end it. They can choose to end it at any time. Dismissing it willingly is a thing they can do.
Notably, also, they get a save against it.
Yes.
If they've committed multiple distinct instances up to the DM of the same slight within the last 24 hours, target has disadvantage on the save.
Yes, which is cool. A lot of this is up to DM discretion, which be responsible with this, please, if you use this and you're a DM and your players are using this kind of thing.
These are very powerful effects, and they should not be applied liberally.
No. This is the kind of... You use this when it is something serious.
I mean, this has been used maybe once?
We used a big one once.
Yeah. So they're broken down into Jinxes, which you can cast at 1st level, Curses, which you can cast at 3rd, and Banes, which you can cast at level 5.
Yes.
So, the Jinxes. They're the weakest, and for more minor offenses.
They end after a d4 days.
And can be removed by Lesser Res, Remove Curse, Greater Restoration, or Wish.
Alright. And I'm going to put them on the screen. I'm putting them on the screen, obviously, but we will talk about them at the same time in case you're not looking at the screen. So Jinx of the Proud, Jinx of the Vain, and Jinx of the Selfish. Respectively, you curse someone who has expressed pride in your presence, too much pride, too much vanity, or too much selfishness, respectively. All of these have an affliction that it puts on someone based on what trait they've embodied or what thing they've done that is bad.
So, Pride, for example, they are unable to perform a certain act involving fine motor control, like tying knots, writing, playing an instrument, sewing, casting spells with somatic components.
Yes.
For 1d4 days.
Yes. And you take 1d6 psychic damage when it ends. Even if it just peters out, you take the damage eventually.
The Vain messes in with their appearance in a minor way.
Purely cosmetic.
Yes, like a scar, stuff like that.
Yes, fangs, bad breath.
Yeah.
I think those are funny.
And the Selfish makes a item disappear. A non-magical item from the target's possession disappear, and it cannot be found until the curse ends.
Which I think is kind of clever. And again, what these are meant to do is teach someone a lesson. That is the point of these. That is why you cannot inflict them liberally and lightly.
Yes.
The point of this is, these curses are used to emphasize the wrongdoing of another person, and that is why the ones that are for more minor stuff fade after a while, and the ones that are for something really serious take a lot longer to get rid of.
And why the backlash is lesser for...
Yes.
Yes.
If you're teaching someone a serious lesson about their existence and their life, it's going to be harder to do, so you got to do it at a higher level. But it's also going to be harder to get rid of because it's harder to unlearn that kind of behavior.
Yes. So, curses.
Yes.
Mid-tier, meant for major offenses with serious lessons.
Yes.
They do not end naturally and can only be undone with Remove Curse, Greater Restoration, or Wish.
Yes. Curse of the Brutish, Curse of the Furious, and Curse of the Cowardly. 3rd level on all of these. Curse of the Brutish, you can curse someone who has attacked you, your allies, or the innocent wrongfully.
Notably, the word unjustly attacked.
Yes.
Not self-defense, notably, and I think the game would make that distinction.
Yes. Someone who has, randomly unjustly lashed out at you and harmed you or your allies, or someone who didn't deserve it.
Be that cornering you on the road, or what have you.
Yeah.
They gain vulnerability to a damage type of the Vistani's choosing, such as piercing, or slashing, or fire.
Yes, all of these things are options. Any damage type that the person casting it wants. Furious is for threats, for serious, like, threats of bodily harm, even if they haven't actually done anything. Threatening to ruin someone's life as well. Disadvantage on ability checks and saving throws tied to 1 score.
Yes, be that charisma, or strength, or dex.
Yeah, whatever.
Kind of tied into what the threat was. If they're threatening to ruin your life, expose your secrets, that's charisma. If they're threatening to beat you up, that's strength.
Yeah. And then cowardly, you curse a target who has failed to help you, your allies, or the innocent when they easily could have, when it wouldn't seriously affect them. Gains a level of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a cool
That's
one.
pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
And then we come to the Banes.
These are the big ones, and this is the one we've only used once, right?
Yes.
We only used this one once ever. And it actually, if I'm thinking of the right thing, when we used this one, this was in a game I was in that you were DMing, we used the Bane of the Bigoted, which is on the screen now, and the person ended up sticking with it because they learned the suffering of the person that they were transformed into, and, like, became attached to that experience and that culture and just stayed that way.
Yes.
And that was how they learned their lesson about it. Was they decided to embrace that culture and do right by the people they had been bigoted against.
They were a racist, sexist, human, or half-elf man.
Something in that vein.
Who became a Vistani woman.
Yes. And I love that for her.
Yes.
And she stayed like that, and I love her.
They can only be undone by greater restoration or wish.
Yep.
Bane of the Covetous. Bane of the Entitled, Bane of the Bigoted are the options here.
Yes. Bane of the Covetous is a target who has used a magic item in an unnecessary and harmful way. A target's attunement to that magic item ends, and the target can't attune to the item until the curse ends.
Very powerful.
Yes, very good. Entitled. Express an entitlement in your presence or look down on you, your allies, or the innocent. This is something that's been done repeatedly.
Yes.
This isn't something that they just did once.
In a serious manner.
Yes. Again, you have to kind of grasp the severity of these things. If the DM determines it's not warranted, obviously you're going to take a shit ton of damage.
Someone who wants look their nose up at you wouldn't necessarily count, but someone who has repeatedly done very bad things or has done one horrible thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
blinded, deafened, or both, and
yes.
that's just permanent until the curse ends.
And Bane of the Bigoted, the big
This is the one. This is the one we were talking about. Target is physically transformed into another humanoid creature of the same size, can choose race, assign gender, vague physical features, immune to all effects that would permanently transform them or disguise them, true polymorph, disguise self, right? That doesn't work? Or disguise self because it's temporary, does that
Disguise
work?
self is temporary.
Okay. Permanently, yes. Okay. And if they had, like, a long-term disguise spell, that would also...
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically anything that would permanently or effectively...
Yes. Like if they had, like, an amulet of disguise self or something like that.
I mean, they can polymorph themselves into their original form for an hour, or disguise self to their original form for an hour, but they cannot true polymorph.
No.
Yes.
They can't go back.
Yes.
Until the curse ends. And that's the one we were talking about, where person was like, oh shit, maybe I should stop being racist and sexist and actually be like a normal member of society that's not a dick. And ended up just staying like that because really started to feel and empathize with those struggles and just decided they liked it better that way.
The
trans rights.
Player never ended the curse, and the NPC it was afflicting never asked for it to be ended.
Yep. That's how you learn a lesson, and that's how this can be used narratively in an interesting way.
Yep, and you speak, read, and write Common, Vistani, and Barovian.
Wow, that was such a random small thing. It's obviously relevant.
Yes.
But small little thing compared to everything else we just talked about. Give us your thoughts. Give us your input on these guys.
Yeah,
if you have created something interesting, please share it on the channel, and we will talk about it maybe at some point.
I understand, also, before you write the comment, I understand the curses for the Vistani are really, really, really powerful. I know.
That's why you're not supposed to use them unless it's really, really well earned. And that's why it's punishing to even try.
This is kind of similar to the Demigod thing, where you're putting the power in the players, you're trusting the players, and you're trusting the DM to run it properly.
Yes. That one specifically is very... You need to be mindful of how you're approaching this, and if it's unjustified, if it's not deserving of the curse, it will immediately backfire, and you will take up to, like, 30 damage, depending on what it is.
And you do this.
And you can try this over and over again, and you'll still keep taking the damage.
You do this in combat against someone that isn't earned against. You've wasted your turn, and you've taken potentially 5d6 psychic for your action for your turn.
Yes, that's your whole thing. You have to be reasonable about it. This is a serious thing. It's serious transgressions. It's not, oh no, this guy stabbed me in combat. I'm gonna curse him. No, it doesn't work like that.
Notably, the Bane of the Covetous, or the Bane of the Bigoted, when we cast that, it was cast in the middle of a combat.
Yes.
And there was a discussion between the players if it was warranted.
Yeah.
There was actually quite a lengthy discussion between the player who's playing with Asani and the rest of the players. Is this warranted? Is this
something
going to backfire? Or has this person earned it?
Yeah. And the answer was yes. And it was a pretty resounding yes. But we wanted to be clear.
It was helpful that they had just basically muttered a slur prior to this.
And that wasn't the first time.
No.
I wanna be clear. This was a repeated serious infraction of that sort of thing. They were a whole ass racist, sexist person. And then they were a normal person. They were normal about things, and I love her.
Yeah. Anyway, that is going to do it for this Homebrew hour.
Woohoo!
Or Homebrew 20 minutes.
Homebrew 20-something minutes, yay!
Let us know your own human variants.
Let us know your own Homebrew. We might talk about it on here.
Use these in your home game. Let us know how it goes.
And if you have Homebrew that you want us to read off, you can send it to our business email, which is in the description. I check our emails pretty, every several times a day. So.
Or just throw it down in the comments.
Yeah. Stay warm out there, guys. It's wintertime here, and I'm really, really cold all the time.
Reach out to me on Twitter at @ThePenitentCOL.
We have an official Twitter. If Twitter nosedives, reach out to us somewhere else. We'll give you, our LinkedIn or something.
Yeah.
I don't have one of those, and I don't want one. Just kidding.
You can reach out to us on Patreon.
For $5 a month, or it's $2 for the base.
You can join our Discord server on there, but...
You can join our Discord. You can reach out to us on Discord if you pay money.
On our Discord have priority for submissions of Homebrew and Game Tales.
Alright, bye!
Thank you for watching this video from College of Lore. Remember to like this video, subscribe to join the party, and have a fantastic adventure.